To solve the equation, we are going to remind ourselves of two things. The first one is anytime your original equation has a variable in the denominator, checking your answer at the end is not optional. We're worried about substituting the answer back into the original equation and having it lead to us divide by 0. And then strategy-wise, whenever we see fractions, we're going to multiply both sides by the denominator or denominators. In this one, originally it looks like my denominators are 4x minus 8 and x minus 2, but 4x minus 8 factors, and I need to go ahead and factor that so that I can see what that denominator is made out of. So taking a 4 out, that's going to leave me with x minus 2. So this denominator is 4 times x minus 2, and this denominator is x minus 2. We want to multiply by as little as possible, avoiding any duplicates. So I'm going to multiply by both 4 and by x minus 2. Okay, so let's go ahead and notice here's my original. I did rewrite my denominator 4x minus 8 to be 4 times x minus 2. But this is my original equation, and I'm just showing multiplying both sides by 4 times x minus 2. Okay, on the left-hand side, I'm going to need to distribute. So if I take the red times this first fraction, the 4 cancels and the x minus 2 cancel, so the only thing left over is 8. Now when I take the red times negative 1, nothing cancels, so everything is still there. The negative 1 times 4 times x minus 2. So I'm going to write all of that out. Now on the right side of the equal sign, when I take the red times the fraction, only the x minus 2's cancel, so I'm left with both 2 and 4. So I have 2 times 4 there. Okay, now in this little section right here, I'm going to take negative 1 multiplied by 4 and change that to minus 4, and then minus 4 times x minus 2. So I'm only going to rewrite that as a minus 4 right there. So let's change the negative 1 times 4 to negative 4. I'm going to bring down the 8, and I'm going to bring down the x minus 2, and I'm going to bring down this part. 2 times 4 is 8. Okay, now that the negative 4 is in front of that x minus 2, I want to distribute that through. So the 8 is still there. Don't accidentally do 8 minus 4, right? Multiplication comes before subtraction. So distributing that through, negative 4 multiplied by x is negative 4x, and negative 4 times negative 2 is plus 8. I'm going to bring down the equals 8. Okay, then I've got a couple of like terms. 8 and 8 are on the same side, so that makes 16, and I still have minus 4x equals 8. Let's move the 16 to the other side by subtracting it. And so what I have left now is the negative 4x, and then 8 minus 16 is negative 8. Lastly, get rid of multiply by negative 4, so let's divide that by negative 4. And I end up with x is equal to 2. But let's remind ourselves one more time, we have to check it because the original equation had a variable in the denominator. If we take this 2 and we put it back up into the original equation, 2 minus 2 is 0, and that leads us to do 2 divided by 0, and we can't divide by 0. It doesn't have to make all of them false, but it happens to make this other one as well. 4 times 2 is 8, 8 minus 8 is 0. 8 divided by 0 is a problem. So if this number, when you substitute it back into the original, makes any of the pieces divide by 0, then that means that we have to throw that answer out. So I'm going to come over here. Oops. And I'm going to throw this out. Maybe I'll put an X here. Okay, so that one gets thrown out, which means that this has no solution or no real solution.